Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rave Green TV. And we've just seen our beloved Seattle Sounders advance to the Champions League final. Yes, the Champions League final. This is the best time to be alive as a Sounders fan. Who is one step away from bodying Salah if Liverpool end up winning the Champions League as well. I mean, boys and girls, we're going to get to see a repeat of that. Nico, Rory is joined with me on today's review. I mean, boys, let's first talk about what was our thoughts on today's game, and then we'll move on to our man of the match. But today, it's a special moment.
Well, that was an incredible game for sure. I was at the edge of my seat, especially in that second half. We were defensively looking a bit shaky, especially in some intervals of the game. They hit the post twice in a row before scoring that goal back, which kind of put them back into the tie, not back into the game, but it was a really risky approach that the Sounders were making, because after that goal they got in the second leg, if they were to get another one, they would be straight back into the game, one more goal away from equalizing it. But fortunately, that was not the case. We're lucky we have an incredible keeper, because our defenders were not doing us any favors. Stefan Fry with, I believe, 7 saves in that game. He's really showed why he is the best in MLS and why he's our number one. Honestly, he gave me 2016 MLS Cup vibes. Other than that one goal, nothing would get past him. They had one lucky goal because Stefan Fry was just on point today. The gods bless Stefan Fry this morning to have an incredible game.
Yeah, and like as a continuation of that, I was really impressed by New York City FC. I thought at the end of the first half when we had that goal, we were dominating possession and they just looked a little bit flat. And like them coming out into that second half, I know they made a substitution, but they were like a different team. That first and second half team were just light and day different to each other. And so, you know, it wasn't the best game defensively, not whatsoever. I love a good expected goals and like all the statistics in games. New York City had an expected goals of like 3.4, I think. The Sounders had an expected goals of 0.8. So like we definitely had a lot of luck helping us out. But I think a lot of that luck is like what you make of it, and that's what happens when you have an experienced keeper like Fry, just there just to literally catch anything coming his way. It was a nervy performance overall, but it was that experience that led us to dig deep and really push us through to a Champions League final.
I know most people were very nervous about this game, and not nervous about this game, but once that one goal went in, but we have to think about it. We put ourselves in the situation in the first leg that we were up 3-1. And I mean, you can't expect the Sounders to like dominate possession in a second leg when you're up by such a big margin. So to see them like play a bit more defensive, I actually didn't mind. I actually think this was quite a masterclass semi-final performance from the Sounders, because I mean, we were already up 3-1, and then we scored a goal, and then it really forces the issue for NYCFC in regards to they now have to score 3 just to send it to extra time. So I think the Sounders handled it for the most part pretty well. Yeah, maybe you needed a little bit of luck, but they put themselves in that situation to have this luck where it's like, okay, yeah, we can park the bus. We can shithouse our way to this win because we put ourselves in these shoes. Sorry, NYCFC, you guys decided to play very scared in leg 1, and that's what put yourselves in that situation. But this is actually a flawless performance, just like the game against Lyon in leg 2. And just like in that game too, maybe less so because NYCFC, I think, piled on more pressure, but yeah, Lyon were all over us in that game too. After we got, I mean, for the most part of that game, luckily we got that penalty right before the half, but still they were piling on the pressure. And I mean, you got to expect them to get one. And NYCFC, I think we managed it, all things considered well. Their attack was really good, and Tati Castellanos was doing what he was doing, and he was kind of being, he's being a D-bag. He's being a D-bag, and so he's definitely making some rumbles. But I mean, Jackson Reagan looked absolutely experienced, and then Stefan Fry. I mean, a lot of people have been questioning, does Stephen Cleveland deserve to start? Does Stefan Fry deserve to start? Boys and girls, tonight's performance should tell you that Stefan Fry is the best keeper in MLS. And if he wins the CCL, he has solidified himself as the best keeper in MLS history. So I don't want to go on any more about that. But I mean, man of the match, we mentioned him. Do we want to, let's do a man of the match and maybe like an honorable mention, because I think it's very obvious. I think the honorable mention might be different between the three of us.
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty obvious, as you said, man of the match, Stefan Fry. Honorable mention, I think, would go to Jackson Reagan, although it wasn't a beautiful, performance defensively. He's still played like 6 games in his professional career outside of college.
And just pocketed the best striker in MLS last season.
Yeah, exactly. And again, wasn't a beautiful defensive display, but he showed up, did what he had to do as the least experienced person in that back line. And I think as well as a honorable mention, there's also somebody who was kind of disappointed with is Morris. He had that chance that he missed. He just wasn't in the game whatsoever, just on a different planet to the rest of the team, I think.
Yeah, I actually agree with Rory on the honorable man of the match. My man of the match is obviously Stephen Fry, but Reagan really stood out to me other than Stephen Fry, of course. He was not taking any crap from the opposition, and he was standing up for the other players, especially in that 15-second brawl. The brawl that happened, he stood up for our other players, and he's the least experienced guy. So I think that says a lot about his character. And I think we have a very promising defender on our hands in the back.
Yeah, I think my man of the match tonight, it has to be Javier Ariak. Just kidding. it has to be Stephen Fry. I mean, we've said it so many times. My honorable mentions actually made a little bit different. Since you guys said Jackson Reagan, showed him a little love, I'm going to show to the biggest fan club in the world, Kellen Rowe. I think he is my honorable mention in today's game. He came on when the game was really tense and when shit was really starting to hit the fan. And I think his leadership really helped out, especially, I mean, outside of Stephen Fry making saves, Kellen Rowe is making saves, obviously not with his hands, but with his body. And I think that was really important for us. I mean, his experience really came in clutch. Yeah, he made some mistakes, but I mean, we can't kill the guy too much. Everyone made mistakes, but I think when it really mattered, he needed to put his body on the line, put some experience on the table, especially when Nuhu came out, when he was playing, he was having a really good game as well. I think Kellen Rowe came in clutch when needed in the more important aspects of defense.
Yeah, if you ask me, Kellen Rowe had a pretty balanced match when he came on. He almost gave up a goal and then he saved a goal. So there you have it.
Perfectly balanced.
Perfectly balanced. This whole thing should be.
I think another talking point about that substitution was the fact that Madranda didn't come on when he is the natural left back. It was only 20 minutes left, so you can't really cry game fitness or match sharpness. I think that would be something interesting looking at going forward. But I mean, can't really fault Rowe for his performance today.
The one thing I will mention, I think Brian Schmetzer, I think his tactics were on point, but I think he made subs too late. I think he should have made more rotation in the team a little bit early on, especially for Jordan Morris, because as we said, he wasn't really in the game. And I didn't expect Jordan to be much into this match because I felt like it was going to come down to like a Nicolas Ladeo, Raul Rui Diaz, a little bit more creativity, less so he's not going to be able to stretch the defense as much. I think maybe bring on Obid or whoever a little bit sooner might have been a better move, especially when NYCFC were piling on the pressure. So one thing I will say is the starting lineup was great, but Brian needs to make subs a bit sooner because players were going down like flies with injuries and you need to freshen things up.
How many of those were real injuries? I don't quite know. But I do think that Schmetzer has an issue with substitutions. I mean, I can count the amount of times I've been in the stadium. It's the 80th minute and we haven't made a sub yet, and we have a game in like 3 days. So I think that's definitely something that we need to look at, and that's probably where he can he can just improve as a coach. But then again, build a statue, I'd say. Champions League final, can't really complain with how his tenure's going at the moment. So
yeah, someone actually said in the Discord chat that Brian Schmetzer for the Sounders has made a cup final every single year he's been coaching except 2018. That's a pretty cool stat.
It is a pretty cool stat. Build a statue.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, boys and girls, our opinion only matters so much, but the viewers' opinions matter so much more. So let us know in the comments down below. What was your thoughts on tonight's game? Who was your man of the match? Honorable man of the match? Just let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to smash the like button on today's video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I hope you all have a lovely day.